In this video, I'm going to show you how to stencil some letters in Shortcuts a lot too. So I've gone ahead and I've added some letters here on the screen just using the text tool. And the next thing is to add whatever you want to use as a stenciling bridge, and basically you're going to use a rectangle. So I'm going to click on the shape tools and I'm going to select this rectangle just like this. And then you need to size it to be the size you want for your stencil. Now that's obviously way too thick. And of course remember, you could do like just stencil it here and then up here, and have two different rectangles and then leave this part connected if you want to, or you can stencil the whole thing. It's entirely whatever you want. So okay, so I'm going to make my first one and I get approximately centered, and then I'm going to make some copies. So I'm going to do Control C, Control V, and then make another one to put down here. And again with the A, I could just do the bottom, or I can do both. I'm going to do both parts right there, and then Control V again to make another one for this B here. And then again, if I had more letters, I just keep doing Control V to make however many I needed. Now that once you have it here, you'll note that if I select all and try to go to path, back, minus front, or any of these that are located here, they're all grayed out. And that's because these are called Boolean join functions, and they only work on two shapes at one time. But you can fool it into thinking there's only two shapes by grouping all these or doing a make path. So I'm going to select, or a merge, I'm sorry. So I'm going to hold the shift key and I'm going to click on each one of these rectangles. Now note I only have the rectangles selected. I don't have the word baby selected, just the rectangles. Then I go to object and I can either use group or merge. Either one will work. I'll just go ahead and use group. Right now then the software considers there's to only be two shapes here, the word baby, and again that's something else. You don't want to ungroup these letters. You want to make sure they're all a single object also. So if they're separate letters, you probably need to go back and regroup them. But anyway, at this point then I can select all of this and I can go to path, back, minus front. Now notice this front minus back. That's what I would have used if I had created all the rectangles first, then I'd added the word baby, because it all has to do with where they end up, with respect to one another. But since I did the word baby first, the rectangles are on top, so then I do back minus front. And when I select that, sure enough, it subtracts out and creates, basically, creates those bridges. Now then, if I was going to make this a stencil, I would come in and I would probably add whatever shape would be around the outside. Let's just add this rectangle and then size this so that it would be around the word baby. And of course, this could be like if you're stenciling inside the front of a card, then this would be the size of the card front. Or if you're making a stencil out of plastic, then then you would probably size it whatever you want your final stencil to be. Now then, once I have that, then I'm going to select all, and I'm going to go to object merge. And when I do object merge, basically it cuts out those letters from that outside rectangle. And this is an important thing to do, because now you don't have to, it's still cut the same either way. But if you do this, then what happens is all of this inside part will be cut before it cuts the outside rectangle. And that's important because of the fact that generally with cutters, that's exactly what you want. You want child shapes cut first and then the outside, because otherwise if you cut the outside first and then the inside, you can start to lose some stability, especially if this outside shape is really close to the interior shapes. So anyway, I think that's it. And if you have any questions, let me know.